Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about, this is actually scary. Man opens Doordash ghost kitchen selling Costco muffins from his house, then sees what Doordash sent him. On this episode of Everyone's Making a Parody About Ghost Kitchens is a Doordash ghost kitchen on Costco muffins. Honestly, I don't even want to go too deep into this. I'm probably just gonna blow right through it. Let's just do it. So in this video, we are talking about everything that's being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Viewers were conflicted after this man was able to easily set up a ghost kitchen on Doordash. He was running it out of his house and reselling Costco muffins. What is a ghost kitchen? A ghost kitchen, also known as a virtual kitchen, is a restaurant without a physical storefront. Instead of having a spot to where you can physically pick up the food or dine in, ghost kitchens just operate out of a kitchen space, be it commercial or otherwise. Food from a ghost kitchen is only available for delivery. I actually went over a bunch of these with Miko the entrepreneur in an interview that I have conducted with her along with Bud Soda. So I'm gonna leave that video in the description. It was super informative and actually talked about her ghost kitchen that she ran very successfully and under proper health guidelines, so feel free to check that out. Doordash ghost kitchen causes outrage. In a viral video with more than 2 million views, John Gott at Gottjon shares the ups and downs he went through trying to start a Doordash ghost kitchen. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. In the video, he's seen on the phone with Doordash. He recounts that they told him they'd send him a tablet to operate the restaurant logistics on. From there, he'd upload the menu and be good to go. You don't need like a commercial kitchen or any sort of license to make food, his wife asks in disbelief at the quick approval. Nope, all he needed was his LLC, he said. Gott clarified that he didn't actually plan to cook the food himself. Instead, he'd buy pre-made foods from Costco and sell them for a profit. Once the tablet arrived, Gott uploaded his menu, and the Sugar Rush storefront includes cinnamon roll for $6, chocolate muffin for $4, blueberry muffin for $4, cinnamon crunch muffin at $4, and chocolate milk at $2. I know a lot of people are going to look at those prices and think it's crazy, but I've also seen people buy crumble cookies consistently, and woof. It's not legitimate by any means, but it is a good price if you really want to get down to it. What happened next? Gott's adventure was short-lived. In a follow-up video, Gott says that someone reported it to Doordash after the TikTok went viral. Doordash then closed down the store and sends Gott an email notifying him that the store has been temporarily deactivated. TikTok, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make some extra money to take my kids to Disney World, Gott says. Sounding genuinely disappointed. Thought it was okay. I mean, technically it's supposed to be okay. The problem is that too many people ruined it for everyone else. Gott said the worst part is now he has 60 giant Costco muffins he has no use for. This is why we don't post everything to social media, a commenter wrote. Gott did overlay the text, "This isn't real," over the initial video, so we're left wondering if that was just the wife's reaction or if the video was actually a bit. Wait a second. If you actually look at the box itself, that is actually a Doordash for Merchants box. It does seem like it was legitimate. Going over everything. It does seem like it was a legitimate store for a period of time. I can't imagine it being a thing for very long, but hey, it's possible. Is opening a Doordash ghost kitchen really that easy? Doesn't he need permits? While Gott made it seem wildly easy to set up his ghost kitchen, there are some legalities and permits you need to get before you can be operational. While these requirements will vary based on your state and local municipality, here are the most commonly needed licenses and permits according to Cloud Kitchen. Business license, EIN, certificate of occupancy, food service license, food handling permit, and liquor license. DoorDash's website confirms that potential merchants need little more than that to operate on the app. Merchants are required to provide basic information about their business name, location, owner name, and their EIN to validate their entity, their site states. Merchants must also agree to comply with all applicable laws and regulations, including labor, health, and safety laws in all markets in which they operate. There is no minimum order amount or sales amount to remain a DoorDash partner, and merchants can cancel or change their partnership at any time. So similar to that of any sort of restaurant partner. And there are a lot of different ghost kitchens also, not even just those are operating out of their home. Those are actually kind of rare. There are some that are involved in the same restaurants as you already know. Chili's and It's Just Wings and Maggiano's actually is a ghost kitchen within Chili's as well as having physical locations. The Roasted Wing at Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza, the Tender Shack. I could keep going, but there's no point. Aside from that, if you're drop shipping food like God is, then setup might be that simple. He didn't have to secure much upfront investment or hire staff. The ethics are being questioned by viewers, but at face value, it seems like a legitimate business as long as GOT gets the necessary food permits. If it's actually affordable to do that and it actually makes sense financially, yeah. I know that a liquor license can be super expensive and that is not what he's ordering, but food handling permit, food service licenses, and as long as you're also going by food service standards, it also should be fine. But still, I also can't imagine him retaining customers like this, so that's another thing in itself. DoorDash doesn't regulate kitchen standards. This is actually really scary, a top comment read. DoorDash doesn't regulate kitchen standards, local ordinance does. This is 100% illegal, a person said. You should never post it this people on the internet thrive off of ending other people's dreams and happiness. Demons don't know what be in the food they eat, but blocking this man's muffins, another added. Ghost kitchens make me so mad. You know, that third comment actually makes me laugh in a way, because I know that's true. It's like the crabs in a bucket logic. As soon as somebody tries to climb out of the bucket, they rip them apart for trying to climb out of the bucket. This is exactly what they did. He's just trying to make some extra money, and he's drop shipping food. I don't know if it's actually legal what he's doing, but let's say he got the necessary licenses and they bitch about it on the internet. They will find a reason to have you deactivated. It is really messed up though. Why I don't typically do like ride-alongs or anything like that, I don't need people finding a reason to have me deactivated on any of the platforms I work. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I know that one of the points here is that it's kind of scary that a person can just start a ghost kitchen. That doesn't mean that they're able to maintain it, or maintain it well is really the way I should say it. But as long as you're being transparent that you're a virtual kitchen, number one, and number two, you're doing everything by the book, you have the proper licenses, etc., what's the problem with that? Like, you're selling cinnamon rolls and chocolate muffins that have to be by standards because you're buying them from Costco and selling them at an upcharge. Some people call that scammy. I call that just a typical business practice. You don't think this happens every goddamn day? I was just talking to somebody at California Pizza Kitchen at the bar there, and she was saying how one of her friends, who was pretty financially well off, paid to have this custom marble installed. And then the person I was talking to went to the thrift store because she just likes thrifting, apparently. And she saw that same contractor. And funny enough, that's where he gets his tile. It's not right, and there's a big legal battle with that, but these things do happen. And it's obviously an egregious upcharge, but there are also people that sell furniture like that. There are people that sell everything like that. There's drop shipping practices everywhere. And that's what's happening here. But regardless of any of this being the case, case, it does need to be clear when a restaurant is a ghost kitchen. I mean, I get texted this stuff from Miko all the time about all different sorts of ghost kitchens that are popping up, right? We got Man versus Fries, Scratch homemade soups and sandwiches, both of which are legitimate restaurants that are not 100% clear that they are virtual kitchens. Actually, no. That first one, Man vs. Fries, actually did say virtual kitchen, but that was to the driver, not to the customer. But I will say this to this guy, because I think that I gotta give respect to respect is due, assuming that it's real, because it does seem to be. This guy did a smart thing and didn't like his situation because he's trying to make money for Disney World, and he went out and is trying to make money in an alternative way. He diversified his income, and he's developing a sort of side business for himself, something that is very scalable. And we gotta give credit where credit is due. If you guys are looking to accomplish the same thing, we just recently launched our Build Your Own Delivery Service Provider course. And one of the things I constantly say is to treat the gig economy as an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not simply the goal, and to develop an exit strategy such as building your own delivery service provider. I've partnered with experienced professionals to bring you a step-by-step guide to create a six-figure earning business after 90 days of hard work and become your own boss. The course will guide you to create your own business entity and foundation, methods to source restaurants with game-changing opportunities, resources and done-for-you contracts to protect you financially. And you will also have access to high-level professional guidance to help you build your business foundation and support you as you grow your business to greater heights. Check the link in the description and get started on transforming how businesses serve customers and how gig workers get greater opportunities with you. We are excited and looking forward to helping you secure your financial future. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.
Rise up, shake off that 9-to-5 rust. In this wild world of hustle we trust. Break them all, leave them all in dust. Driven Wyld's the only wave of must.